every time I see the long title for this film, Spider-Man Brand New Day, there's only one pop culture reference that comes to mind. Can you think what it might be?
Is it the song Brand New Day by Sting?
It is, yes. Yes. Starting on a brand new... I don't know the rest of the song, but all I've got in my head is that line of da-da-da, brand new day.
I couldn't even tell you a line from it or the melody or anything about it. But
That's it. That's just the bit. So, but
that's why we're married.
Yeah. But I was like, at least they haven't put the word home in it, because from memory, haven't all these versions of the Spider-Man films had some kind of like no way home, get yourself home, be home soon.
Keep the home fires burning. No, it's Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. But I think this is because they are doing a new trilogy.
Oh, are they? Oh,
so
right.
I would expect that they're all going to have Day in it.
No, because we're going to have Doomsday soon as well, aren't we? In Marvel, I know this is like Sony, but you know it's the same sort of thing. Okay, great. So Spider-Man. Anyway,
Spider-Man.
We've been to the cinema.
Does whatever a spider can.
I wanted to sing the rest of it there, and I'm just going to stop myself. I'm clinging on to my top, going, "Don't sing the rest."
If you really want to, you can sing "Hero" by Chad Kroeger.
Oh, I love that. So, a hero can save us.
No one loves that song.
I had that soundtrack. Did you have it?
No.
Oh, how do you know it then?
Because it was like a hit on MTV2 at the time.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I remember that now. I had all that, but I also had the Shrek 2 soundtrack, and so I had some weird soundtracks. Anyway, so what were you talking about? Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I know you're just looking at me now.
The fourth of the MCU adjacent Spider-Man.
So this is Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man, although we have had the Andrew Garfield and the what's his other face? What's the other one? The one who hangs out around with Leonardo DiCaprio. He does have really good friends. Tobey Maguire. There you go. I've got it. I can see them on a yacht. Yes, it's going to be that sort of night.
You're not
really,
thinking
isn't
of
it?
Orlando Bloom on his paddleboard.
I know he's on a paddleboard, isn't he, darling? He's not on a yacht. Yes, so we get to see them in this. We have got to see them in one of the home films, haven't we?
The last one, Far From Home.
But this is
No Way Home.
Lovely. I really like Tom Holland. Lovely Tom Holland and his lovely wife Zendaya being in a Spider-Man film.
A couple of weeks after being in the Odyssey.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they're going to do from now on. I mean, fair enough. Just be in the same films, get to like hang out in the same locations. I mean, I have a bit of a crush is not the right word, but I have a proper I don't read romance. It's just not for me. I don't like rom-coms, but their little friendship, their love story, seeing that sort of played out in the media when they do press for a film, for example, is just the most heartwarming, proper. They're just really good mates, really good mates. And she was asked a question the other day, how do you work with your partner, which is what we're talking about. How do you work with your partner all the time? Do you not get what you? And she just sort of thought about it for a minute. She went, well, it's not really difficult when it's your best friend, is it? And it was it wasn't it wasn't. It really was authentic, and I know she's an actress, but it was really authentic, and she was sort of just work with your best mate, and that's what I feel. They're really, really good friends, and now and they don't, he's obviously had some challenges as well, in terms of alcohol, and then he's sort of poured that into a non-alcoholic beer brand, hasn't he? And he's really helping people through that, and they don't court the media, and they just are just two mates having a good time. So I'm very much I've got so much goodwill behind them as a couple, and I think a lot of people have that as well. That I wouldn't normally go and see a Spider-Man film. I know some people, I've heard on some podcasts people saying, oh, Spider-Man's my favourite superhero, and it just wouldn't dawn. It probably wouldn't even be in top 10 for me. But there's something about them, and there's something about him and his work and their relationship that actually drew me more towards this film than I think it had in the past. So this wouldn't be something that I would be running to, But that came with it. And then also, you couldn't get to see it. Like, you were looking at screenings because you were going to go on the first day, weren't you?
Yes, the first night of this.
And it was just blocked out.
Yes, it was like trying to get tickets to insert something that's really hard to get tickets to.
Take that in 1995.
I don't think that was hard to get
Bon
tickets to.
Jovi in the 90s. Everyone went to see that
No.
round my way.
No, they didn't.
No. Maybe Harry Styles? Would that be a recent reference?
Oasis
that
would
what
probably be
young
the one that I'm
people-
thinking of.
the
Where
young people
yes.
saying. So it was really busy, wasn't it? Like, and we were doing that thing where we're like, oh well, you'll just go at like this ludicrous time.
Yeah, I'll have a look
And
at 10:30.
Yeah,
Which is well past my bedtime for a
exactly.
start.
But it was just
Sold
full.
out. Yeah.
It was just full.
Yeah.
And we had to look at lots of different cinemas, didn't we, to find something that where you had at least a bit of space beside you.
And eventually we found, because I was off work, because it's summer holidays, you were off work together, and you very kindly
That's right.
covered for the afternoon whilst the next day, whilst I went to the cinema and saw it, and then came back and said, I really think you should see this.
Yes, because you were worried about me getting spoiled, which you don't normally come back with that, but you said by the weekend certain things would be revealed, or there were going to be op-ed pieces about it, and I normally that doesn't really bother me because I probably would have looked it up anyway, and I thought, you know what, for this one thing I think I will go, and I went to a 9:00 showing at the cinema, which again was busy for a 9:00, and also anyone who's listened to this podcast before knows Elaine's autism corner for going to the cinema. People still on their phone, people showing other people things on their phone during the trailers, and also 9:00 again, hot dogs, popcorn, nachos. One guy who sat 2 rows in front of me by himself right in the middle of the row had a suite of items 9:00 in the morning, and so much so that he had to put it on the seat next to him, and it's really good for someone like me who notices everything. It's like quite interesting, sort of like
It is
seeing
2.5
what
hours
happens.
long. You do need your.
I know. I have to say I did get a timeout from the cupboard and put it in my coat pocket just in case, because I knew it was going to be a bit long.
I took some white Maltesers,
So I know.
but mine was at a more appropriate time. Mine
Exactly.
Was like,
Yeah, I waited till 10:30 to eat my chocolate.
you're only lying to yourself, though.
I know. I think that is quite late for me. I have been known to eat chocolate at 8:00 in the morning. But we really wanted to go and see it, didn't we?
Yeah, and I think it's important to say now that we're not going to go into spoilers in this part of the podcast. We will go into them later.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth saying that this film is one. A few years ago, Disney seemed to get into the habit of putting their entire film in the trailers, to the point where you could probably sketch the plot through all the way through, whereas in this they have absolutely hidden what the film is about on a larger scale, and who some of the characters are, including who some of the actors are that are in there. There's an actor which I knew was in there probably in hindsight, but wasn't aware, sort of walking into the cinema, wasn't at the forefront of my brain. There are people that appear in the trailer that are largely just cameos, which is it's an interesting concept, and I think I'm really excited to talk about this.
And it's one of those films where, if you're like, for me, I'm not into the lore, and I didn't know what some people have said. Oh well, we all knew 6 months ago who's going. And like, oh well, I didn't. So every time something came up, I had that very authentic experience of, oh, it's them, or oh, that's who they're playing. Like, I did not know until like certain names came up or certain people came up what the crack was.
Yes.
And so I had that really, really fun experience of, I'm not trying to guess at it because I don't know it's happening. So when it happens, I'm like, oh, like really, really lovely. So like when you're reading a book and there's a good twist in it.
Yes.
Because you didn't know, because people haven't been talking for a year about, oh, it's a book with a twist in. I really enjoyed that experience with this. What were your feelings about the film overall?
So I think it's my favourite MCU film since Avengers Endgame. I've heard people pick the plot apart. I understand that.
Yeah.
I am able to overlook things in this that I don't overlook in other films, which, we have a big debate about Dark Knight Rises, about how there are just plot holes halfway through that I feel are unexplained and I feel is unacceptable in that film. I could probably say the same about this now, but I don't care because I think it's, for one, I hold the MCU and sort of Spider-Man films on a different level to how I expect Nolan Batman films to be. But largely, I'm just happy to spend time with these characters, with Tom Holland, with Zendaya, with Ned. I think Ned, and also it's a film which made me double take a couple of times, and I don't think that can be understated how much I enjoy that as a film.
You have just given my review.
Really?
Like, honestly, like pitch perfect. That's exactly how I feel. I love spending time with the characters, and these are not characters that I'm particularly like, desperately, these are my favourites of all time or anything like that. I can't really remember what happened in the other Spider-Man films. Even if I'm really thinking about it, I was like, do I need to watch them before I go into this one? But I think the first 20 minutes of this film is some of the most engaging sort of comic booky style films that I've seen since sort of like those Nolan days, or the really good Marvel films. Much more engaging than I thought it would be. I was pulled into that world. Always a good sign for me that I stopped thinking about the two women 3 rows in front of me that kept showing each other their phone, and they'd stopped by that point. I'd stopped thinking about how many kids there were in the screening, because there were so many kids and so young as well. All of that sort of faded away from me, and that takes me a long time to get into it. But within 10 minutes, I was swinging through the streets of New York, aka Glasgow. Because he filmed it in Glasgow. It's so much fun to like go look at. That's where they filmed Indy as well, because they did the Indiana Jones film there. So swinging through the thing with him, understanding his emotional, like who he is emotionally, understanding the sense of longing, the sense of loss. But understanding like these characters, like some of the characters might have been in the other films and I just don't know. Auxiliary characters like a police person or someone like that. Those sorts of characters are probably in the other films, but I didn't need to know that. I got who they were straight away, and I got all of the connections to what was happening. And I also thought that the baddie, or the main protagonist, and I'm going to be obviously careful around these things.
Antagonist.
Is it antagonist? It's antagonist.
Yes.
Yeah. In my brain, I was like, you're going to say the wrong thing. So that the thing that he is fighting against, I thought that was so well done, and I thought it's been a long time since I've seen that sort of experience on screen where I'm like, this is actually really creepy. This is actually really psychologically interesting. And I didn't know where it was going. And I really enjoyed being led along the path of, like we say, the characters turning up, actors turning up that I didn't know was going to be in it.
Yeah.
And so it really, really worked for me on that level. Yeah. I mean, like, I have nothing more to say other than I thought it was 5-star most of the way through. Like, I was genuinely like, I think this is 5-star. I think this is 5-star. But you're right. Some of the storytelling beats, there are these plot holes. I wish we got to see a little bit more of Ned and Zendaya. I know she's not called that in the film. She's Mary Jane. But I wish we got to see a little bit more of that. But I understand that they, there is a disconnect between certain characters, so we can't spend all our time with them because we're living through Peter/Spidey's eyes. I really loved some of the connections with the characters that he interacts with. So there's certain characters that are almost like new friends, but there are other characters that are like parental figures, and I love those connections. At the heart of it, and I think this is probably all these films, at the heart of it, it's about friendship, isn't it? It's 3 mates at school, and one of them just happens to have the spider thing going on, but the other 2 are just as intelligent, just as smart, just as independent, And I really liked seeing MJ and Ned and their sort of like the college years and the little snippets of that. And I think we've all had that experience of watching maybe friendships that we've let go for whatever reason, or maybe someone you've known at work and you say you're gonna stick to, you say you're gonna see each other and then you don't, but you still feel very warm towards them, and you can see, when you're watching them on social media and you're like looking and you're going, oh, like I wish I'd stayed in touch because that could have been me at the gig with them, blah, blah, blah. We've all been in that sort of situation. I thought it rang very true and it kept me entertained all the way through the end. But you're absolutely right. There are plot holes in this as as big as your face. But you can get over it because you're kind of like, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being with it and being in the thing. I think it's a little bit too long, but having said that, I don't know what I would cut out.
I think you could probably cut out 10-15 minutes quite easily.
I don't know where, because I wouldn't want to lose any of those emotional moments.
No.
And I enjoyed the action, even in my, and like I say, people who've listened to us before will know we bang on about this all the time. One of our local screenings, it's just so dark. Yeah. So dark. And this was ridiculously dark. I nearly went out at the end and went, do you know you've got a problem in your screens that like you need to turn the contrast and the brightness up? But I didn't. I'm looking forward to seeing it on our telly where I can control,
as the director intended,
the brightness. Yes. But yeah, it'll be better. Honestly, it'll be better on our telly than it was on that screen in terms of the brightness, to see more of the action. I was struggling to see some of the faces.
I mean, you say about the action, there isn't sort of a traditional Marvel robots hitting each other finish to this, which is how the film would typically finish the third act. There are levels of bad guys in this, and I think the big finale is against some sort of B level baddies in this.
Yeah, it's not world crushing. Thanos-esque. So, but I don't want that.
However, I mean, I thought that the action was excellent. I mean, Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed this, also directed Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Yeah. Have you seen that?
No, I think I started watching it one night when you were away ages ago, and then I never went back to it. But it is one I need to catch up with, particularly given what's coming with Doomsday and all that. And I thought this was really well directed, a nice balance of action and emotion.
I mean, he directed a film called Short Term 12, which is
Short Term 10.
No, trust me, it's Short Term 12. Should we have a look? Shall we just have a look just to be on the safe side?
Why have I got 10 in my head?
Short Term 12.
Is that like Short Circuit I'm thinking of?
No.
You're bringing it up. It's 12.
So it's and it's a it follows people who work in a residential treatment facility for troubled youth, basically, but they're young themselves. So it's Brie Larson. Brie Larson's the star of it. It's a really, really good film. Okay. John Gallagher Jr., who was in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, right, okay.
Lakeith Stanfield makes a really...
Oh, right, okay.
Caitlin Dever's in it from Justified. Rami Malek is in it.
Okay, so he's got everyone in it now,
yes. But this was 2013, so it was before a lot of them, before Room, before Atlanta, before... anything like that. So it's a really, really good film, and I really recommend anyone see it if you haven't already. Also, another shout out for probably the one member of the cast that I want to commend, who I can't mention without being spoilers. But Liza Conlon-Zayas plays just a detective who works with Spider-Man on throughout the film. Now, I know her from The Bear.
The Bear? Yeah, me too.
I didn't actually realise she was Tina from The Bear when I was watching it. Which,
of course, no. Oh, I got straight away. I was like, that's that woman from The Bear. And I thought, has she been in the other ones? And I didn't realise.
No, she hasn't.
Right.
She's a new character. But I think her relationship, as someone who Peter Parker is able to interact with from the start, because at the end of the last film, everyone forgot who he was. Really, really strong, and I thought she absolutely nailed it.
Should we go into spoilers?
Yes.
It's interesting, for the first time in a long time, you and I are on the same page with this. So I think we best talk about all the details. So if you are leaving us here, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Michael Manda doesn't have much to do, does he?
Michael who?
Michael Manda.
Michael Mando.
He plays Scorpion, the Scorpion.
Oh, right. Yeah, but he's not really meant to be in it. He's
Well, the trailers
like a bit of
indicated that he's the...
I don't remember the trailers.
He's the bad guy that is featured in the trailers.
Really?
And
I didn't see that.
he is in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Oh, right.
You don't remember that?
No.
Do you know the actor?
No.
Because he's in Better Call Saul, so he's one of the main characters in
I don't
Better
know that
Call
either.
Saul.
So he's like right over my head.
So absolutely
I
lost
just thought
on
he was
you.
quite good for someone who's like not really meant to be the baddie.
No, like the trailer, he is certainly featured more than once in the trailer.
Okay.
Which, for the amount of screen time he has, which is probably less than 5 minutes, there's a tank which crashed into his jail cell. He gets him out, and then he
later on, Spider-Man sees him, but he's the Jean Grey character at the time. He's under, when they're outside again. And then he beats him up. That's when he goes all like Dark Spider, and he beats him up, and he's like Spidey, ooh, so he has little bits to do, but I didn't realise that he was meant to be like they were playing him up to be the main one. But they've done a really good job in I've already mentioned their name in protecting the old Jean Grey of it. In hindsight, I think I had heard that Sadie Sink had been sort of like brought into it, but I thought she would be something like another world MJ as the red hair. Or a what's the other one, like the journalist or writer? What's she called?
Dallas Bryce Howard.
That's
Bryce
exactly
Dallas
who
Howard.
I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah, Gwen Stefani.
Stacy.
Gwen Stacy. Yeah. Yes. So I thought it was going to be that sort of thing. I did not realise we were going to get in this at all.
No, I mean they've been hitting it for long enough. Obviously, we had the end of the Marvels. You seen the Marvels?
No.
Okay.
You will have told me though.
We've had references to mutants in TV shows,
yes,
which have been followed by a subtle play of the X-Men theme.
Yes, I remember that.
I think it was in Miss Marvel.
Yes,
and yeah, I mean it's been coming. It's been coming, and I'm very excited for it. Like proper. I'm so glad I saw this in a showing that had people in, because that moment when it came up and everyone went, and I was like, yes. Those moments are like you get maybe one every 6 months, one a year in the cinema. So
didn't realise Jean Grey's got my name as a middle name. Very excited to be part of the Jean Grey.
I don't think that includes you. In
okay, thank you. To do with that. It's nice to see my name on the screen though.
Yes. Hang on.
Jean Elaine Grain.
I saw Jean Mark Grey.
I have a confession to make around the old Sadie Sink Jean Grey thing, which is whilst I'm very happy to see Sadie Sink in this film, I'm very happy that we're moving forward with like a new, like I'll always remember like the mid-2000s version of the X-Men. Like for me, Wolverine's always going to be Hugh Jackman. Professor X is always going to be Patrick Stewart. It's just, Famke Janssen is always going to be Jean Grey. It's just like it's like your Doctor Who. Like who's your Doctor Who? Who are your X-Men, right?
Yeah.
And I'm very excited, like you say, about this new generation. And I hear Samara Weaving's been cast as the January Jones character. Is it Emma something or other?
Frost.
Emma Frost. So we're already starting to see...
January Jones' most famous role, obviously.
You know my random references. So I really excited for them. I'm interested to see who they get as a Professor X. I was wandering along with Blake earlier on today, and I was thinking, how are they going to do the Magneto character? Because obviously the Magneto character is his whole backstory is based in the Holocaust. If you're going to have someone who is not, in their elder years, how are you going to give that back? Are you going to give them a different backstory of a different trauma or a different war? This is what I think about when I'm wandering around. This when I'm on my own. What am I thinking about? What are they going to do with Magneto? My issue was that I find, and I think I found this in that other film that she was in, The Whale, with Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
I find it very hard to see her as anything other than the Stranger Things character. Now, that might be my problem, but I also think it's an acting. I think she acts in a very specific way. And she speaks in a very specific way, and her voice has a very specific cadence to it. And it just, all the time I'm thinking, this could be a scene from Stranger Things. This could, and I've seen that in every performance of hers that I've seen. So I look at Tom Holland and my disbelief is fine. I can believe that he is Spider-Man. Like, I can make that happen in my brain. With her, it just didn't ring true to me at all that she was Jean Grey. It just didn't. It was like, oh, there's Sadie Sink playing a character that's called Jean Grey. That was my only issue with it. Which is it's a very individual thing about an actor that I just can't quite connect with.
Wow, you're going two-footed on Sadie Sink.
Yeah, I know, and she's been in Romeo and Juliet in the West End, and I wonder if I see her in a different. I wonder if it's because these are young people who are having supernatural things happening to them. Maybe I just need to get a life.
It was weird that Romeo and Juliet, that happened in Romeo and Juliet, wasn't it? And to have it
That's
like
what I mean.
on top of the scoreboard on Dungeon Lair.
See it, so that might have really helped me. But I think she's got a very specific way of acting that makes me find it very hard to think of her anything other than who she is. So I found that difficult. I also was a little bit sad that we didn't get a bit more of, as he's known in our house, the Gruffalo, otherwise known as Bruce Banner and the Hulk. I think that he was a little bit shortchanged at the end when it was just like, oh, he's been taken off to some sort of psychiatric unit, and we don't get resolution there. I don't know.
I didn't have an issue with that. I always assumed he was going to be a featured cameo.
Yeah.
Very much like Iron Man was in the first one.
Like another father
they had
figure,
Happy
really,
Hogan
isn't it? Yeah.
in the second one, and Doctor Strange in the third one. So he's had one all the way through.
Yeah.
It might be the way around with Happy, but yeah. I had no problem with that. I thought it was appropriate. There's little things that I dislike, like someone working out someone's secret identity just like that. Now, I know that Sadie Sink can jump inside people and see their thoughts, but from what we could tell, she couldn't jump inside. Yeah. So how does she find his house? How does she find that? Mm-hmm. And that's what I make reference to in Dark Knight Rises, where literally everyone's just coming and going, like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt comes in and goes, yeah, when I saw you were a kid, I knew you were Batman, to the point where it's all kind of like, and the Batcave is just found like that by Bane.
Yeah.
No explanation for it. To the point where I think it's funnier if you watch that film as something where everyone knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, apart from Commissioner Gordon. Yeah. And it's just, he's Gary. The only one. But like I said, I loved this all the way through. I thought I'd worked something out, and I was feeling really smug with myself, and then it turns out not. So, they were looking for VMAX.
Yes, this VMAX thing, yes.
So I was like, well, X, like MAX. So then that's X-Man, and then the V add a line to it, and that's X-Man. And I was like, oh it's going to tie into like a reference to the X-Men.
Yeah.
Just a fucking event.
Do you know what it really reminded me of? And you might have to help me out with this, but there's one of the not original inverted commas Star Trek films where all the way through they're looking for something with like Vija. It's finally coming in my brain, and a character's going, Vija says this and Vija says it. It's like a godlike character. And then spoilers for this Star Trek film. It's the one with like Shatner and all of that.
I think it's the first. I think
Is
it's the
it?
first
Is it
one.
the first one? But like they discover that Vija was actually a you wiped
mission.
it, and it's just it's a whatchamacallit, like a satellite or something like that. That's what I thought it would be. I thought, it's like akin to that you think it's one thing and then it's another. So when we saw the VMAX and it's just vent. Not to, like, I know I said I love this one, and I really, really liked it, but it has come to mind. I did think the whole sister thing didn't have as much emotional resonance for me as, like, Peter and his mates. I thought that flashback at the end was like, please care about Sarah. But then if you were to put it any earlier, you're giving the game away, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I have issues with she's now getting more powerful and can jump more than 30 feet now because we've sat her in a chair and But like I said, I'm 4.5 stars on this.
Yeah.
I think it was amazing. I sat there and I enjoyed the moments. Nice to see Florence Pugh turn up.
Yeah, she's having fun in this, isn't she?
Yeah,
she gets to sit in the sauna all the time.
Is it a sauna? Is it a
A spa, swimming pool, bit of both, yeah. And she seems to be, and her character seems to be having much more fun than when she was very miserable to begin with in Thunderbolts / The New Avengers.
I didn't know Tremel Tillman was going to be in this.
I didn't know that he plays such a good, is he a goodie? Is he a baddie? You just never know. Never know
come on.
him.
I knew straight away.
No, but it is.
Everyone
I think he plays
knew
a really
straight
good
away.
ambiguity. I think it is a good ambiguity.
And then John Bernthal as the Punisher.
Superb. And their relationship, because I think they've known each other a long time, haven't they? Him and
I think
Tom
they worked
Holland.
together on that film that was set ages ago, The Odyssey.
Stop it.
I think he knows Zendaya as well through that.
But yeah, their connection was really good. I really liked this version of the Punisher, and I've seen him in Daredevil and the others. But actually, they're slightly more muted, still very gruff, but caring of other people in underneath, but still getting guns out. Like, I thought there was a really good mix of, like, maybe what people who read like the comics would really like to see is that very, very grim version of the Punisher with some lighter elements in this film. I loved that connection between the two of them. I thought he brought together when, like, Zendaya gets involved. I know she's not called that in there, but when MJ comes in and they are meeting, and I thought he was a lovely sort of third person to bring them together, and for her to even say, "Well, you're going to go with it? Are you going to go and, like, help him?" And the Staten Island thing, all of these little references. I could live in that world quite happily and leave out all the Jean Grey and all the other things. I think their relationship, that bit where they get together at the end and they're quoting Lord of the Rings at each other, like, I cried quite a bit in this film.
I cried a lot in this film.
Just like that friend, that, finding
it's the
your
Lego
friends.
for me.
Yeah, building the Lego together. Like we're sat in a room. I'm turning my head. We're sat in a room with so much Lego that we have built. Like, it really takes you back to when you find people who get you. Yeah. It's so important.
Brand new day.
Yeah. Sting.
Yes. I mean, should we tell the story of the chair?
Oh, what you mean the story that's just happened just before we started? Yeah, okay.
Yes, just be cheesy. Yeah, because I said I'll take a chair up for you because we record this in my home office and I've only got one chair in there. And what did we both start to sing? I can't remember either. I was hoping you would remember.
It was ABBA.
Take a chair for me.
Take a chair. Right, okay. So what's that thing? We did Take a Chance on Me, and I was going, take a chair, take a chair, take a chair, but you went for the beginning. Yeah. We did sigh.
We've been married
but
too long. But it's very sweet.
But it's very sweet, and it's that sort of thing that you recognise in this film as, oh, well, you can roll your eyes and you can say, oh, we've been married too long. But actually, that's the sort of thing that makes you feel very safe.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
4.5 stars.
4.5 stars. I'm more sort of 4 and a bit. I think the last section kind of put me off a little bit.
Where's that bit gonna be from? Like it's like 4.5.
You know what I mean? Maybe I'm more towards the 4 than the 4.5.
Okay, there. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Right.
That's basically where most people are with this film.
Yeah.
I think I'm slightly higher than most, but yes, it's
a big softie.
Yeah.
Right, we've got to go and look to see how our child is. So we need to get going. But yeah, thanks very much for sticking with us on this little sojourn through
into the MCU.
The MCU, and well, it's Sony, isn't it? Is it so? Oh, please don't tell me the story. But it is like Spider-Man's
Sony
a
owns
Sony
the right
thing.
to
Yeah,
Spider-Man. So everything is produced by Amy Pascal rather than just Kevin Feige.
And is the next one in the series, is this going to be Doomsday? Is that,
Yes.
and that's coming out in December? Yes.
Yes, December
Yes.
18th.
Right. Good.
Not that I'm counting.
Good. Yeah.
Day off
See
work for
how
that.
busy the cinema is that day.
Well, it comes out the same day as June 3.
Oh, does
Currently.
it? So it's Doomsday. I will not be the first person to have made that joke.
I think it's Doom 3.
Right, we're gonna go.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.